Residents who live near a large boarding hostel in central Nelson are worried they can't find out more about former prisoners who are living there, a significant proportion of whom go on to commit other crimes. Reportedly, the 190-room low-budget Franklin Village is located within 700 metres of 4 preschools and 5 schools. Figures obtained by a nearby homeowner under the Official Information Act show almost 400 offenders have lived there since 2009 and up to 80 in a year. One neighbour says it's become a mini prison without security. But the police say they monitor the premises closely and that it houses people who might otherwise be in a shelter or on the street. Here's our Nelson reporter, Tracy Neal, with this story.
The multi-level hostel opposite Nelson Hospital was once a nurse's home. After a plan more than 10 years ago to turn it into visitor accommodation failed, a Christchurch businesswoman took it on, revamped it, and Franklin Village opened in 2009. Liz Harris says she aimed for the affordable accommodation market and it soon began filling up.
The first days that I arrived here, there were people, word had got around that I bought the place and I had actual people sitting outside on my lawn hoping that I would take them in straight away. So we opened the first part, Barton Hall, and then we opened the ensuite.
Franklin Village, which offers short-term accommodation from $140 a week for a room to $320 a week for an apartment, is now full at about 300 people and there's a waiting list. A local homeowner who doesn't want to be identified for security reasons says Official Information Act figures show that the Corrections Department are using it to house former offenders. For the first 3 months of this year, there were 22 living there at a time. The homeowner says she was surprised and concerned to learn that more than a third of the total number of former offenders were caught re-offending while living at Franklin Village. She says in a statement it's troubling that corrections can't reveal what the offences were.
I was hoping they could assure me that they were not allowing significant numbers of medium to high risk offenders to live in a residential area among children, elderly people and families, and next to schools and kindies. They did not do that.
Corrections told her it could not reveal the information for privacy reasons, but in a statement said it had a robust checking and follow-up program.
The department has comprehensive offender management plans in place for each individual in its care, and community corrections staff regularly meet with offenders to assist in their ongoing rehabilitation and reintegration.
Another nearby homeowner, Dominic Allport, says locals just want to know more about their neighbours. Franklin Village manager James Campion says they have a stringent tenant vetting process which includes close contact with corrections and the police. He doesn't believe they've had any sex offenders living there.
For the 6.5 years that I've been here, I have not let any in that I am aware of. We have an application process. Any people that have been who are returning from jail through corrections, then we ask them to write to us and to have that verified by corrections to say that that is the case.
Liz Harris says if a sex offender did lie about their crime, the police would soon know and the person would be evicted immediately. The Nelson Bay's Police Prevention Manager, Scott Richardson, says Franklin Village provides an important service.
But there's a lot of people in there who are just trying to get ahead, and Franklin Village is their home. Some of the people who, if they couldn't stay there, would be in overnight shelters or could be on the streets, and that's not ideal either.
Mr Richardson says the public can be satisfied they are safe.
There's no specific risk associated to Franklin Village just because a minority of their occupants are known to police and corrections.
Minority or not, the concerns over Franklin Village highlight the difficulties that inevitably arise when it comes to putting a roof over the heads of some of society's most at-risk and vulnerable people. In Nelson for Checkpoint, Tracy Neal.